Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the cryptic language of corporate filings. Today we're diving into CNH Industrial's latest report, and let's just say they're not just announcing results, they're setting the stage for what is next. This filing lands on the 17th of February 2026, and it is focused on their fourth quarter and full year results for 2025. Think of it as their annual checkup and a preview of their current health and future plans. We're going to cut through the corporate jargon and tell you what these numbers actually mean for CNH Industrial and for us as investors or observers. Before we jump in, if you find this kind of no-nonsense financial breakdown helpful, make sure you are subscribed. And hey, if you want to chat about these numbers with other enthusiasts, join our Discord community. The link is in the description below. Alright, let's get straight to the heart of it. Companies like CNH Industrial, which is a big player in agriculture and construction equipment, have to regularly report their performance to the Securities and Exchange Commission, or CC this form. The 8K is usually for important events, but in this case, it is mainly used to attach their latest earnings press release and a presentation that goes along with it. It's like they're saying, here's the official news, and here is the deeper dive presentation we gave to investors. So, what is the big news from their fourth quarter and full year 2025 results? Typically, these reports tell us about their revenue, what costs they incurred, and ultimately how much profit they made. For CNH Industrial, which is a global giant, these results can give us clues about the health of the agricultural and construction sectors worldwide, as those are the industries that buy their tractors, combines, and heavy machinery. When their sales are up, it often signals that farmers are investing in new equipment, perhaps due to good harvests or strong commodity prices, and that construction projects are humming along. Conversely, a dip in sales might point to economic headwinds, uncertainty in the markets, or even challenges specific to CNH Industrial's product lines or supply chain. The presentation, which is also included, is where the company often paints its picture of success, highlights key achievements, and lays out its strategy moving forward. We'll be looking for things like sales growth in different regions or product segments, changes in profitability, and any updates on their long-term goals, like their sustainability targets or plans for new technology. Remember, these companies often use these presentations to put their best foot forward. So our job here is to unpack the numbers and see if the story they're telling aligns with the reality of their financial performance. CNH Industrial has its common shares traded on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker symbol. CNH, they also have a specific bond issue, the 3.850% notes due in 2027, trading under CNH 27. This tells us they are a public company looking for capital and are committed to meeting their debt obligations, which is always a crucial point for any investor. Now let's talk about the actual financial highlights. While this 8K filing doesn't contain the full financial tables directly within the text, it refers us to Exhibit 99.1, the press release, and Exhibit 99.2, the presentation. These are the documents where the real meat of the financial performance lies. Based on the context of these reports, we'd be looking for trends in their net sales, which is their total revenue after accounting for returns and allowances. We'd also scrutinize their operating income, which shows how profitable their core business operations are before considering interest and taxes. And of course, the bottom line net income or earnings per S-share is what ultimately tells us how much money the company is making for its shareholders. Let's imagine, for example, that CNH Industrial reported a 10% increase in net sales for 2025. That sounds good, right? But we need to ask ourselves, is that due to selling more tractors? Or did they just raise prices significantly? If their net income, the actual profit, only grew by 2%, it might suggest that their costs are rising faster than their sales, perhaps due to increased material costs or supply chain inefficiencies. This is the kind of digging we do to get beyond the headline numbers. We also look at things like their order backlog, which is a leading indicator of future sales. If orders are piling up, that is a positive sign for upcoming quarters. Another key aspect would be their geographic performance. Are they seeing growth in North America, Europe, South America, or Asia? Strong performance in emerging markets can indicate a strategic expansion paying off, while struggles in established markets might raise concerns about market saturation or increased competition from companies like John Deere or Axio. Furthermore, we'd be looking for any commentary on their debt levels and cash flow. Are they generating enough cash from their operations to cover their expenses, debt payments, and investments in the business? A company can look profitable on paper, but if it is not generating actual cash, it can run into trouble. Think of it like a person who has a high salary, but also a mountain of debt and barely any savings. They might seem successful, but they're actually in a precarious financial position. This report is signed by Britton Worthen, the Chief Legal and Compliance Officer. This is standard procedure, ensuring that the company is adhering to all regulations. It signifies that the information provided has been formally reviewed and is being presented under the company's full authority. Now, let's put on our analyst hat and talk about the big picture for CNH Industrial. Based on the typical information found in these types of earnings reports and presentations, there are a few key things to consider. One of the strengths CNH Industrial likely highlights is its global reach and diversified product portfolio across agriculture and construction. This diversification can help smooth out earnings if one sector is experiencing a downturn. For instance, if the agricultural market is slow, strong construction sales might offset those losses, and vice versa. They are also likely to focus on technological advancements, such as precision farming or automation in their equipment, which can drive higher margins and create a competitive advantage. However, there are always risks. Global economic slowdowns can significantly impact demand for large capital goods like tractors and excavators, geopolitical instability, trade wars, and currency fluctuations can also affect their international operations and profitability. Supply chain disruptions, which have been a major issue across industries, can lead to production delays and increased costs, something CNH Industrial, like its peers, has likely been grappling with. Furthermore, the transition to alternative fuels or electric machinery presents both an opportunity and a challenge requiring significant investment and adaptation. In conclusion, CNH Industrial's 2025 year-end and fourth quarter results, as presented in this filing, are crucial for understanding their current standing and future trajectory. While the 8K itself is a procedural document, the attached press release and presentation are where we find the story of their performance. We need to look beyond the surface level announcements and analyze the underlying financial trends, industry dynamics, and management strategic decisions. If they've demonstrated strong, consistent revenue growth coupled with healthy profit margins and manageable debt, it suggests a well-run company navigating a complex global landscape effectively. If, however, we see declining sales, squeezed margins, or increasing debt without a clear strategic benefit, it would warrant a more cautious outlook. Alright, that is our breakdown of CNH Industrial's latest filing. What is your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.